The Baha'i Faith envisions an ideal society which can be achieved through principles such as gender equality, human equality, harmony between religion and science, universal educational opportunity, judicious world government, and the elimination of extremes of wealth and poverty. Baha'i followers see this noble society as a real goal to be pursued in everyday life. The Baha'i faith was founded by Baha'u'llah, the enlightened prophet. He and his teachings are believed to be prophesied in Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and other religions. In the Baha'i faith, Abdul-Baha is the appointed center of Baha'u'llah's covenant and ordained the establishment of the Universal House of Justice, and Shoghi Effendi is the appointed guardian of the Baha'i faith. The Universal House of Justice and the guardian are to apply the principles, promulgate the laws, protect the institutions, and adopt the Baha'i faith in the ever-changing society. Shoghi Effendi was not just a translator, but also the designated authoritative power to interpret the Baha'i writings. The majority of his writings were in the style of letters with Baha'is from all parts of the world. Today, we present to you an excerpt from The Unfoldment of World Civilization Letters by Shoghi Effendi. For more information, please visit Baha'i.org. Unification of the whole of mankind is the hallmark of the stage which human society is now approaching. Unity of family, of tribe, of city-state, and nation have been successively attempted and fully established. World unity is the goal toward which a harassed humanity is striving. Nation building has come to an end. The anarchy inherent in a state sovereignty is moving towards a climax. A world growing to maturity must abandon this fetish, recognize the oneness and wholeness of human relationships, and establish once for all the machinery that can best incarnate this fundamental principle of its life. A new life, Baha'u'llah proclaims, is in this age stirring within all the peoples of the earth, and yet none has discovered its cause or perceived its motive. O ye children of man, he thus addresses his generation. The fundamental purpose animating the faith of God and his religion is to safeguard the interest and promote the unity of the human race. This is the straight path, the fixed and immovable foundation. Whatsoever is raised on this foundation, the changes and chances of the world can never impair its strength, nor will the revolution of countless centuries undermine its structure. The well-being of mankind, he declares, its peace and security are unattainable unless and until its unity is firmly established. So powerful is the light of unity, is his further testimony, that it can illuminate the whole earth. The one true God, he who knows all things, himself testifies to the truth of these words. This goal excels every other goal, and this aspiration is the monarch of all aspirations. He who is your Lord, the All-Merciful, he moreover has written, cherish in his heart the desire of beholding the entire human race as one soul and one body. Haste ye to win your share of God's good grace and mercy in this day that eclipses all other created days. One of the great events, affirms Abdu'l-Baha, which is to occur in the day of manifestation of that incomparable branch, is the hoisting of the standard of God among all nations. By this is meant that all nations and kindreds will be gathered together under the shadow of this divine banner, which is no other than the lordly branch itself, and will become a single nation. Religious and sectarian antagonism, the hostility of races and peoples, and differences among nations will be eliminated. All men will adhere to one religion, will have one common faith, will be blended into one race and become a single people. All will dwell in one common fatherland, which is the planet itself. Now, in the Word of Being, he has moreover explained, the hand of divine power hath firmly laid the foundations of this all highest bounty and this wondrous gift. Whatsoever is latent in the innermost of this holy cycle shall gradually appear and be made manifest, for now is but the beginning of its growth, and the day spring of the revelation of its signs. Ere the close of this century and of this age, it shall be made clear and evident how wondrous was that springtide, and how heavenly was that gift. No less enthralling the vision of Isaiah, the greatest of the Hebrew prophets, predicting as far back as 2,500 years ago the destiny which mankind must, at its stage of maturity, achieve. And he, the Lord, shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. The writer of the Apocalypse, prefiguring the millennial glory which a redeemed, a jubilant humanity must witness, has similarly testified. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Who can doubt that such a consummation, the coming of age of the human race, must signalize in its turn the inauguration of a world civilization such as no mortal eye has ever beheld or human mind conceived? Who is it that can imagine the lofty standard which such a civilization, as it unfolds itself, is destined to attain? Who can measure the heights to which human intelligence, liberated from its shackles, will soar? Who can visualize the realms which the human spirit, vitalized by the outpouring light of Baha'u'llah, shining in the plenitude of its glory, will discover. What more fitting conclusion to this theme than these words of Baha'u'llah, written in anticipation of the golden age of his face, the age in which the face of the earth from pole to pole will mirror the ineffable splendors of the Abha paradise. This is the day on which nothing can be seen except the splendors of the light that shine from the face of thy Lord, the gracious, the most bountiful. Verily, we have caused every soul to expire by virtue of our irresistible and all-subduing sovereignty. We have then called into being a new creation as a token of our grace unto men. I am verily the All-Bountiful, the Ancient of Days. This is the day on which the unseen word cries out, Great is thy blessedness, O earth, for thou hast been made the footstool of thy God, and been chosen as the seat of his mighty throne. The realm of glory exclaims, Would that my life could be sacrificed for thee, for he who is the beloved of the All-Merciful has established his sovereignty upon thee through the power of his name that has been promised unto all things, whether of the past or of the future. Many thanks, splendid viewers, for joining us for today's program on Words of Wisdom.